Before it was like my mindset would be good and then it wouldn't be. Now it's like I can consistently be in a good mindset.
What does having self-awareness mean to you?
I think it's just like knowing yourself and like knowing what you need to get ready, like how far you should push yourself, how you can like recover, and like really what you need to get into the blue or like stay in the blue.
And how was your self-awareness before the MMA program?
I feel like before this, I was like, I didn't really know what anything was. Like, I didn't know I had a default mode. I thought it was just one mode, you know?
Yeah, that's kind of the first part of the program is like being aware of like what kind of thoughts we have. And then from that, like having a positive and like kind of just instructional self-talk that we've talked about a lot. And then how about now?
I feel more like consistent. Before it was like my mindset would be good and then it wouldn't be. Now it's like I can consistently be in a good mindset.
What does having a growth mindset mean to you?
Never giving up, even if things get hard and stuff. It's just like rebounding and keeping going, even when things don't go your way.
And how would you describe your ability to have a growth mindset before the program?
Before, I feel like I had a growth mindset before. I didn't give up most of the time, but sometimes I would have fixed mindsets on things I just like knew I wasn't good at. It was like I'm not going to be good at them. But now I feel like even if it's hard, it's like get through.
And you kind of have a guidance now too to help you through that. What does focusing on the controllables mean to you?
It means just because you don't score, you don't make the best pass, doesn't mean it's a failure. And just focusing on what you can control, like your communication, your movement off the ball, like your effort, is just something only you can control. Like it's only depending on you. So it's way easier to be confident.
Yeah, no, for sure. It feels good knowing that you're in control of those things. How would you describe your ability to like focus on the controllables before the program?
Before, I always thought like the only way you have like good games or good practices if you do good things like score, pass, get noticed or stuff like that. I thought like that determines if you did good.
And how about now?
Yeah, it's really, especially like the tryout a couple days ago, I was like, sometimes like I was messing up a bit, but I was like, I'm communicating, I'm moving, so like I'm doing good. And it was really helpful.
What does being in the blue zone mean to you?
It means to me like not caring about it like so much that you have anxiety, but still being focused, but not being like overwhelmed.
That's kind of like the zone that you want to be in. How would you describe your ability to get into the blue zone before the program?
Before, it was like depending on who I'm playing, what the weather was, really depended on what zone I was in. Like if it was a really easy team, I'd be green. If it was like really like high stakes, I'd be red. And sometimes I'd be blue, but it would just like move back and forth.
Yeah, it would vary based on like things you couldn't control. So how would you describe it now?
Especially with the like mental prep. I think it's really easy for me now to stay in the blue the whole time.
What does being brave mean to you?
Even if you're scared or like hesitant, you still do what you think is like right and good.
Even if it's hard or even if that means like you're potentially going to make a mistake. And how would you describe your bravery on the pitch before the program?
I didn't want to kind of like try things because if I made mistakes, like that's bad. Mistakes are bad, right? But I was like really like safe, play safe, just do safe things, don't try anything really new.
And how about now?
It's like it's okay to make mistakes. Like I'm really trying to try new things all the time. And just because it's not the safest option doesn't mean like you shouldn't do it.
What does confidence mean to you?
It means like to me getting out of your shell and just not really caring if you make mistakes or if you make a bad pass. Just confidence is just like knowing what you can do and trusting yourself.
Yeah, like whatever happens, you know that you have your own back, right? So I think that's good. And how would you describe your confidence on the pitch before the program?
It depended. Sometimes I would have like great confidence. I would do whatever like I wanted, but then sometimes again, it would be like really to myself, not really seeing all the options, just doing what I thought wouldn't make a mistake. I was scared to make mistakes.
And how do you feel now?
I focus more like on controllables now, so like my confidence is based on what I can control, so it's a lot higher because I'll make mistakes, but I can still have confidence.
Yeah, totally. Because like you said, you can control them because you can always control, moving off the ball, giving your effort, then you're just gonna like more often have a like just stable confidence. How would you describe your ability to talk to yourself instead of listening to yourself before the program?
Before, I thought like they were the same thing. I thought like when I was listening to myself, I was talking to myself, but really it's not.
And how about now?
It's always like hard to get out of that default mode. Even now that I know all this, it's still like hard sometimes, but I know like especially when everything's like going on, I can like talk to myself instead of listening. But at the same time, sometimes it does get to me the default mode, but it's always going to be there.
I mean, we've said it before, like it's not just a switch, you switch on, you're done. It's always gonna like some days it's gonna be harder, and even me too. Like, I mean, I got a yellow card when you were at the game and I had to talk to myself. I'm like, okay, she's dramatic, but I'm okay. Like, it'll be fine. How would you describe feeling prepared for games before the program?
Before, it was just like whatever I woke up like was just how I was gonna play. Like it depended on the day. Like some days I was like ready, some days I wasn't, and that's just how I was gonna play. I was gonna play not ready, and I didn't do anything about it.
How do you feel now?
It's way easier to like become ready because some days you wake up and you're not ready for a tryout or a game. And now like I know how to become ready.
That's the thing, you know how. Even me before I wanted to be prepared, I just didn't know how. So, what was the most helpful mental skills tool in the program for you?
One that I like think about a lot is like I am statements, just because I think it does like really trick your mind into like believing you do those things.
What is the I am statements?
I used to be like really hesitant on like 50-50 balls. So I would just say like I am a player who challenges 50-50 balls and like I am someone who shoots for the corners and stuff.
Do you feel like it was beneficial to be able to discuss things in a group setting with someone else close to your age going through something similar as well?
Yeah, I do. Because when I was listening to some of them, like they had like good points that I didn't even think about, but like I relate to because they're like the same age. So it was really nice.
And would you recommend this program to other players wanting to level up the mental side of their game?
Yes, I would. I feel like it helps just a lot to being more consistent. Lots of players have good and bad games, but you can like help them be like good games all the time. Like even if you're playing the same, it's just like it makes you like think of how many like success you did have opposed to just thinking of the failures. It could be really helpful for lots.
We practice our physical fitness, tactical, technical, but most of the game is mental. Like you touch the ball like average like 4 minutes or something. It's just something to add to your like backpack and like toolbox.
Thank you.
Bye.